Welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to get into a variety of topics, but this first topic, it appears like Tesla discounts are working. We're going to be taking a look at some of the discounts that are out there because Tesla has certainly upped the ante on discounts for not only the Model 3, but also the Model Y. And now there's big discounts across all the different trims that you can potentially get. So really, I'm not sure if I'm in the type of person that could be recommending an MSRP or retail deal at this moment. I would expect that you should be looking for a discount of at least $2,000 to $3,000, maybe even $4,000 on a Tesla vehicle, especially if you're buying one this month or even next month at the end of the quarter. So we're going to talk about that, plus a variety of topics. But before we do that, let's roll that intro real quick. All right, so thanks for watching another stream. Thanks for watching another video. My name is Dennis, and I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but definitely just getting, which basically means getting the best deal on Tesla at the best finance rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you are interested. And so let us take a look at this. Of course, we know Tesla Model 3 pricing, but here it is right here on this screen. We've got Model 3 standard range at $40,240 all the way to a Model 3 performance at $53,240. Of course, both the Model 3 and the Model Y both qualify for the $7,500 federal tax credit. And of course, if you use a Tesla referral code, just like the one down below in the description, you can get anywhere from $500 to $1,000 off plus 3 months of full self-driving. So definitely check it out. Tesla referral code down below in the description. And on the Model Y side, we've got pricing anywhere from $47,740 all the way up to almost $55,000. Now you might be wondering, like, what are these prices relative to the prices in the past and in the future? That's where this handy dandy Tesla price history tracker comes into play. The Model 3 standard range has had its lowest price of at around $36,990 ever. And if we go to the Model Y side, the Model Y standard range has really had its low price of $47,000 for the all-wheel drive version. But taking a look at some of these fantastic inventory charts, shout out to Matt Young Photo for posting these, you can see Tesla inventory is starting to take a slight dip. We've got Model Y inventory at 364 units, Model 3 inventory at 519 units. So yes, this is a little bit probably too granular in terms of the bigger scope of things. But then when you jump to the Tesla inventory pages from waitingfortesla.com, we can see that the pricing really just doesn't make any sort of sense and actually is all over the place. So if you take a look at this, we've got Model Y long range filtered down. There's only 179 vehicles in here in inventory, and the discounts here, this first one, $3,000 off. This second one, $2,500 off, and the list goes on and on. And of course, all of these vehicles, these are not demo vehicles. These are brand new vehicles, but also the demo vehicles do qualify for that $7,500 federal tax credit. And on top of that, you can use a Tesla referral code, just like the one down below in the description to get an extra $500 off. So you can see there's plenty of them that are actually out there. These are in Texas, Unknown Center, more Texas ones, Georgia. You can see they are all over the place. So we do have it filtered down to performance and long range. But taking off the long range and just taking a look at performance model only, we can see there is plenty of little bit baby discounts at the end of the day for the performance side. But if we switch it to the Model 3 side, that's where it gets even more interesting. Yesterday, we highlighted how the Model 3 inventory discounts have ramped up just a little bit, but now you can see there's anywhere from $4,000 plus, especially on a Model 3. But of course, this could be older product, as we've got some Highland news that we're going to talk about later in this stream. But you can see switching it to Model 3 performance, if you're looking for the best slick deal on a Tesla Model 3, the performance is definitely the way to go, because you can see right here on the screen, $5,400 off, $5,400 off, $5,500 off, and the prices go on and on. So you can see at a price of $48,820, that's basically the same price as a long range, maybe just a couple $1,000 depending on how you build it. And so why not pony up and just just spend that little bit more, or really maybe not even that much more if you use a Tesla referral code, just like the one down below in the description, because then you can get pretty close to that $47,000 to $48,000 price point and basically get a performance model version for the price of a long range. So definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Tesla on the inventory side for Model 3 is certainly going down, and this is all part of their strategy. They are certainly amping up and ramping up the discounts because they probably want to clear out some of these inventory, because maybe there's something coming up in the near future. But at the same time, we've got the quarter end coming up soon for September, for the end of the third quarter, right? Let me see my math right on that. And so we've got deals that are definitely going to be coming. If you can wait till September, you might not be able to wait, because just like Base Fraud said in the chat, like interest rates are going to be going up, and we'll talk about that in just a little bit. But we're going to jump into the next topic. But before we do that, this video is sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description is Patreon link, support the channel, so definitely check it out if you're interested. Base, thanks for coming in. Quang, thanks for coming in. Quang, sorry if I mess it up. Fan, I'll say Fan, thanks for coming in. Hope everybody is well. We got to figure out what we're giving away this Friday. We got to give away something, because I just got this itch. If it's not this Friday, we are going to be traveling. So if it's not this Friday, it's going to be next Friday. That is for sure. So definitely hit that subscribe. Juan, thanks for coming in. Thanks for supporting. We've got a couple quick hit topics on a couple different things. In this next topic, if you're looking to buy a Tesla, then you probably have noticed that interest rates are going up and increasing every other week or even every other month. But now, unfortunately, Tesla has raised the interest rates for Tesla financing, and it's soared past a new high that we haven't seen in a while. But we'll get into it. But if you're just joining in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, so definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. Shout out to Sawyer Merritt. He posted this. Tesla has increased the APR for financing in the United States. Excellent credit rating. I can't believe I'm saying this. Excellent. 72 months at 6.09%, up from 5.89% not that long ago. And before that, it was not that much under that as well. But now there's an 84-month term, if you didn't know, at 6.84%, up from 6.39%. So if you're looking for where you want to see this onto the website, if you go to the Tesla website, you can click open right here, then go to the loan section, and you can play with the slider tools and drop down tools just to see what type of rate you could hypothetically qualify through Tesla financing. And so I've always said that if you're a first-time buyer, or if you've never financed a vehicle, or this is your first time buying a automobile or a Tesla, then it might be worth checking out Tesla financing, because that is how you're going to get the easiest approval at the end of the day. But if you're looking for the lowest monthly payment, that's where channel sponsors like Tenet come into play, because they allow you to defer a portion of the loan all the way to the end, maybe even that $7,500 federal tax credit. So definitely check out Tenet. Down below in the description, Tenet can do this because they are a Tesla approved financing partner, and they work with credit unions and banks to get you the lowest monthly payment. So definitely check out Tenet down below in the description. Thank you to Tenet for sponsoring this video and a bunch of other videos this month. But certainly the best way to get the best financing, you do have to jump through some hoops. That's kind of what we talked about on the channel. There are credit unions out there that you can get the lowest best rate. Definitely check it out. Page description down below in the description. But you do have to jump through those hoops. And on top of that, credit unions can take at least 1 week at a time, or maybe even 2 weeks, depending on the process with that. But yes, you can save rates. Credit unions are anywhere in the 4 to some of them are still in the 3% range. So it is possible. But if you're a first-time buyer, then Tesla financing is going to be the way to go. A lot of times people ask me, should I lease the vehicle? And really, there's only one type of person that should be leasing this vehicle, and that's, or especially the Model 3. It's really only Model 3 buyers that want the new Highland project refresh in the near future, but they can't wait and need a vehicle now. That's where like something like a 24-month lease, because as you can see, the monthly payment doesn't change that much. You can see on a 36-month lease for at least for a Model 3 right now. Actually, no, this is Model Y. Let me switch it to Model 3. We can switch it up to the Model 3 right here and see what it says. Because if we pull up the lease for a Model 3, 36 months at $422 a month, of course, that's taxes, fees, plus the 10% down, plus all the other DMV fees and things like that. Switching it to the 24-month, it goes from $422 to $425. So if you need a vehicle now, that would be my only recommendation to lease it. If you want the Highland, you don't, but you also need a vehicle now, and it cannot wait. But it is unfortunate that Tesla now has raised the interest rates, and we kind of knew this was happening because as the Fed keeps raising rates every other whatever quarter, then Tesla and all the financial banks and all the different credit unions will also raise rates. And so it's like kind of this catch-22 because yes, discounts are ramping up, and of course discounts are going to get even more better as we get through September and of course the end of the year, December. But the catch-22 is interest rates are going to be going up as well. So maybe the ploy is to just keep saving cash, get it at 4% in whatever savings account or high interest savings account, maybe even 5% or 6%. Keep saving up and then just pay cash for the vehicle when you can later on. Keep saving that monthly payment because monthly payments for Tesla are pretty high. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know what your thoughts on it. We're going to jump into the next topic. But before we do that, this video is sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below the description is the Patreon link to support the channel, so definitely check it out if you're interested. Water break. All right, Base Fraud, thanks for coming in. Quang, thanks for coming in. Base, these discounts are getting fire. Unfortunately, the APR rate keeps going up. Yes, unfortunate. Juan, hey Dennis. Hey Juan, thanks for coming in. Base, topic suggestion would be cool to see the long-term 8 to 10 year breakdowns for the cost of buying a new Tesla plus discounts and incentives with home charging compared to a used gas vehicle BMW X3 M40. Good idea, actually. And actually, we've done that. We didn't compare it against a BMW X3 because that would really knock it out of the park. But we did it, I think, a Honda Accord maybe or something like that, where we did cost analysis. Maybe this one, driving a Tesla saves as much as you think. One of these video ideas. We've done so many different contents, but we did compare it against a Honda Accord hybrid, and we did find that it was about equal, if not like Tesla was just like maybe $1,000 to $2,000 higher than that. But we've tried to analyze it and see all the different comparisons at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, driving electric can save you money through maintenance and also resale and other things like that. But it can also be expensive if you don't have a home charger set up and things like that. Or any other vehicle competitive with the Model Y at long range. Yeah, I don't know if I would compare, the X3 is nice. It's luxury. I don't know. I think it's higher than the Model Y. So maybe I would compare it against like a Honda CR-V or something like that. The high yield savings account to buy cash later is a good deal. Not going to lie. Yeah, maybe just keep hoarding that money. Save $500 to $1,000 a month because interest rates are going to keep going up. And we know that prices, especially Tesla prices, are going to be coming down in the near future. Because as interest rates go up, Elon and the team knows that it's an affordability complex at the end of the day. So they're going to have to keep lowering prices, or that's why they added this 84-month term, because they need to figure out how can they make these vehicles on a monthly basis more affordable for the general consumer. In this next topic, we have not talked about the used Tesla market for a while, but there is some new interesting information that just got released, and it seems like Tesla has put a little bit of the clearance on the used side. So we'll take a look at what we just saw and also some tools to give you the tools on where you can find the best deal on a used Tesla if that's what you're looking for. But if you're just joining in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, so definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. Shout out to Matt Jung, with the same Matt Jung that does our inventory charts, that tracks all the different inventory that's available day in and day out from a full scale count. Quote, prices seem to be dropping for the used Tesla Model Y, $35,500 for a 2020 Model Y with full self-driving. I think that's the lowest we've ever seen ever, but yes, it does have 100,000 miles on the clock. But here are some of the tools. The first one is you can take a look at CarGurus, because CarGurus does a lot of price trend analysis of all the different vehicles that could be available for sale and how much they've dipped or even increased in the past recent months. By taking a look at the Tesla Model Y, you can see that year over year, Model Y used prices have had an almost 37% drop in list retail prices. And that makes sense, right? Because there was a huge $13,000 drop in January. So that could essentially make a lot of sense. But you can see model by model, all the different prices for all the different years have also gone down as well. And CarGurus is actually one of my favorite sites as well. If I'm looking at used private party purchase and lowballing a bunch of sellers to see if we can get a good deal. But if you're looking for the Tesla used vehicles from Tesla directly, that's where websites like EVO Hunter come into play. You can see we can sort it by used Tesla Model Ys, and I really like how it's a spreadsheet format where we can sort it by lowest price and see what is the lowest price or used from Tesla today that we can get from their inventory. And it seems to be this one, 2020 Tesla Model Y long range with 33,000 miles, not too bad, and a purchase price of $39,100. But I guess at this point, I mean, why buy a 3-year-old Tesla Model Y that has no credit or no sort of a tax credit on top of that, when you can get a brand new Tesla Model Y all-wheel drive for $47,000, get the $500 referral credit off of the price, get an inventory discount of maybe a couple $1,000s, and essentially get a used or essentially get a new Model Y for about the same price as a used one. So really, I would probably be on the hunt for a new one and take advantage of the tax credit. Now, of course, it's a way different story if you don't qualify for the tax credit, or you don't, or you make too much, or you make too little. Then that could certainly be a different case at the end of the day. But we're going to jump into the next topic. But before we do that, and to answer your question, Jason, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Is it a good time to buy right now? Maybe not, especially with the high interest rates of 6%. But if you're looking for lower interest rates, some of them as low as 2.99 to 4%, sub 4%, which anybody can qualify and get the sub 4% rate. So that's where you can check out the Patreon link down below in the description. X3 M40 is used is going for $30K. Ooh, yeah, it's tough. I mean, BMWs, Mercedes, any sort of luxury vehicle like that is going to have crazy depreciation because right when you drive off the lot with those vehicles, they drop what, 10 to 15%, and then they're worth what, 50% within 3 years because of the lease term. So it is a very different in terms of the calculations for that. But whereas a Model Y, depending on when you buy it, especially if you can take advantage of the $7,500 federal tax credit, your purchase price effective is still going to be pretty good at the end of the day with all the different incentives factored in. Because even taking a look at, so we love this website, Car Buyer USA. And so let's say hypothetically, we bought a 2023 Tesla Model Y. We just drove it off of the lot. We know the Model Y is like $50,000. So with taxes, fees, and everything, like the Model Y long range taxes, fees, and everything, we're out the door like 55. But then you've got the $7,500 federal tax credit. That brings it down to what, 47.5. Maybe factor in a state CVRP one that could be running out of money, could maybe not. That brings it down to what, $45,000. So our effective break-even point is $45,000. Taking a look, if we put the 2023, this is a wholesale website, kind of like CarMax Online, where you can sell it without going into a dealership or anything like that. You can see the purchase price or the price they would buy from you is around $42,687. So really, essentially, you're going to be breaking even, maybe even losing a couple $1,000, but hopefully you'll be able to drive it for like 6 months or something like that at the end of the day. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff that the market, you're not going to lose as much money on a Tesla because there's just that much more demand at the end of the day. Are interest rates much higher when going for used in CarGurus? That's a great question. And essentially, yes, anytime you're buying a used vehicle, interest rates will be higher than a new vehicle. And the reason why is because banks essentially don't want to take that risk, and they'd rather take that risk on a new vehicle because they can, if, you know, knock on wood, you default or someone defaults on the loan, they can take that vehicle and sell it at the auction relatively quickly and cleanly. But if they finance it on a used vehicle, depending on the age of that used vehicle and, you know, depending on the condition of that used vehicle, they essentially might not be able to make a lot of their investment back. And so that's why they prefer new vehicles at the end of the day. And that's why new vehicle interest rates, as you can see on the screen from Edmunds, is always going to be lower on average than new vehicles are going to be lower than used vehicles for financing any vehicle for that matter. For that. In this next topic, I know all of you are interested in waiting for this Tesla Model 3 Highland, but what if I told you there was a new post that was just posted in which Tesla might have just filed for the approval of the Model 3 Highland and the Model Y Highland. So let's take a look at it. But if you're just joining in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, so definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. Shout out to Amy SF Tahoe. This is an interesting post, and there's a lot to unpack here. So let's try. Quote, can we call this quasi-official? Maybe not the announcement from Tesla, but Tesla filed paperwork with the Chinese government for approval of the redesigned Highland Model 3, which we knew, and the Model Y, presumably the new powertrain. I can't wait to see it and hear these specs. Not long now. So taking a look at that, I mean, I certainly can't understand that. Maybe if some of you can understand this on the screen, let us know. But it seems like there is a filing with the Chinese government that a new redesigned Model 3 Highland and maybe a Model Y. I mean, I didn't think that there was going to be a Model Y Highland coming soon. Maybe this is just a different version or a different trim of that Model Y Highland, and maybe that's what it actually is. But taking a look at some of the Google Translate from this, I mean, this is probably just so convoluted, I guess, so we can try and piece together what we're looking at here, which I definitely can't, but maybe this Model 3 Highland. I mean, we haven't really seen too much going on for the Model 3 Highland in the US, so I certainly feel like there could be a thing where Tesla releases the Model 3 Highland in the China market first, the Asian market first, creates a lot of FOMO, fear of missing out, and then opens up the ordering page for the US, and people will flock to try and buy that. But at the end of the day, at the same time, Tesla needs to sell these Tesla Model 3s. So there's an inventory chart right here on the screen. Shout out to Matt Jung. You can see that, yes, they're doing a pretty good job. Tesla Model 3 inventory is starting to go on the down and down. And taking a look at the inventory tracker from waitingfortesla.com, you can see Tesla has ramped up the discount for the Model 3, and right now I would say if you're buying a Model 3 and it does not have a $4,000 to $5,000 discount, I would keep looking or push your Tesla sales advisor to try and get you that big discount, because all of these vehicles qualify for the $7,500 federal tax credit plus any sort of Tesla referral that you can add on top of that, just like the Tesla referral code down below in the description where you can get $500 to $1,000 off, plus any sort of state incentives that you could qualify as well. California has $2,000 and a bunch of other states have other incentives as well. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know what your thoughts on it. We're going to jump into the live stream comments, but this video is not sponsored by my Patreon link. If you're looking for someone to ask some questions about buying a Tesla or how to get the best deal, that's where you can do that at the Patreon link down below in the description. You can sign up, send me a message, ask me a chat questions, or even schedule a phone call with me where we can go over your exact situation and with a customized buying plan. On top of that, if you join the Patreon, you get a link to my buying guide, which is the ultimate Tesla buying guide out there with all the best interest rates for financing your Tesla. So definitely check it out. All lower than Tesla financing. So definitely check it out. Patreon link down below in the description. KV, Model 3 qualifies for the $7,500 tax credit, but you have to have $90K income. I don't know about $90K. The threshold is about $75,000, but if you're still confused, definitely consider and talk to a tax accountant. But there is a video that we have on the channel, tax, just type in DennisCW tax 7,500 and you'll figure out all the different videos that we have on the topic. I mean, you guys love this topic, so we just keep talking about it every single month, in and day out. Base, I hope to see hardware retrofits and the ability to DIY repair Teslas in the future. Doing a battery swap at home for 5 to 6K or upgrading your outdated hardware would be really awesome. Kind of scares me about the battery swap thing because that's a lot of electrical, but yeah, that still would be very cool at the end of the day. Ming, thanks for coming in. Highland sounds interesting. Just picked up a Model Y and trying not to get sucked into the upgrade cycle. It is definitely going to happen. That's why Tesla buyers keep buying another Tesla, or I feel like they do, because it's a little bit just like buying an iPhone. You just wait for the latest iPhone 15, 16, 17 with hardware 6.0, and you just move on to get the latest one. And it also kind of makes it easy because there's so much demand for Tesla, so selling it used is pretty easy. Massachusetts, 3,500. Rhode Island, 2,500. California, 2,000. I like it, KV. Nice job putting some value in the chat for everybody else. So thank you for that. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for hitting the like button, the comments, and everything like that. And I will see you guys tomorrow. See ya.